Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of A Rusted Up Garage with your host here, Ricky Cloutier. Well, yes, this is another solo mission because Zach's still doing his thing. Although you might see Zach towards the end of this video because this video is going to take like a few days to get through because I can't finish the video until we have the truck a little more finished. But like the title showed you, okay, we're going to take our headers from 0 to hero, in about an hour, okay? And I just kind of want to show you the steps. Now, I can tell you I have used this product for this application before. I used it on the wagon headers. And it's kind of funny because I actually painted them red. I'm not sure why I did that. It don't matter, but anyways. And the stuff lasted amazingly well. For the most part, it stayed red. At the very top, it started to get a little bit white, but that engine also, may or may not have had a few hot suppers going down the interstate. Look, that's beyond the point. Let's just say that for the price point, this stuff works good, okay? This ain't nothing like your engine paint crap that you buy and it don't last. This stuff is pretty amazing, actually, and that's what made me do it on this one. So I'm going to show you guys what I got going here, okay? And it's a pretty simple process. The only thing is I don't have an oven to bake it, kind of like, because you can kind of bake it like powder coating, but it's not powder coating. But you can bake them on the car, which is what we'll end up doing, and there's instructions for that too. So without further ado, let's get these headers knocked out because I want to get them on the engine because I want to get the engine fired up in the chassis. Okay? So let me get turned around here and I'll be right back. Man, this one-man band thing is some work. So anyways, here's our finished header. Here's one of them that's finished. I finished this one for you guys to see. It's nice. I mean, look how nice that is, okay? So this is my original header. Now, these are basically the cheapest header you can buy. They're Patriots. They're the Patriots, and they are, just steel because they're cheap, and they're also not coated. That's what I like about these. This is pretty much the reason why I buy these. They're not coated. Because if they're coated, we have to clean that off, sandblast it, because the coating they put on them, I mean, you guys know. As soon as you start the engine, gone, okay? And then you got a steel header. Looks like crap. So if you get them steel to start with, this process is a whole lot easier, okay? So what we're using is the KBS Extreme Primer, okay? It just comes in one color. You can get it in brush form. You can spray it with a spray gun or whatever. And then we're going to use their Extreme, I got charcoal metallic because I thought it looked good, and it does look good. They have like 83 colors. Then I'm also going to use the KBS Clean. Now I buy this stuff by the gallon, and then I make a 10-to-1 ratio, which I'll squirt on everything, wipe it down later, okay? So process from this to this is pretty simple. And they have instructions. I'm not going to read them to you, okay, because you guys can do that too. I mean, I'm just saying. But I can just say that for surface preparation, they want you to either sandblast it or sand it with like 60 or 80 grit. So what we're going to do is a little hand sanding on this and go and give it a little bite, okay? And then we're going to clean it and prime it. Then it also says on here that you want to prime it between 60 and 80 degrees, and you want light coats, minimum 2 light coats, or technically if you're going to put this over it, you can do just 1 coat. Now the way I'm going to paint it one side and then flip it upside down, it gets about 1.5 coats, okay? And then you want to do that within 30 minutes and allow to dry 8 hours before subjecting to heat, okay? Pretty simple. And then it does some zinc stuff and some magicry, that these guys have figured out, and it works good, okay? And then we're going to go to this part, which is this is the instructions for the main paint. And it says the same thing. So we can, put it on about 30 minutes after we're done with that, with our primer. about 30 minutes after, we can put on this. And it says, you know, 1 to 2 coats, but if you're doing both, it's basically 1 coat of each. And that's about what we're at, about a coat, coat and a half each. Don't put too much on. Always apply thin covering coat, says so right there. And then, you know, it's basically dry to touch in 30 minutes, and then, you know, and stuff. That's what it says, okay? On this side, here it talks about the dry time, and then it also talks about breaking in the stuff. So it don't fully cure until it gets hot. So this is where it kind of gets a little crazy, okay? Now, you can touch it, it's dry, okay? But it's not fully seated into it like it's supposed to be until it gets done. Now, you can bake it in your barbecue oven if you have one big enough to fit that thing in. It says so right here, you know, barbecue oven, you know, approximately 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. I don't have one. So next choice is the automotive. And it basically tells you, you know, put it on the engine, fire up the engine and let it idle, okay? As soon as you see the smoke, and I mean as soon as you see the smoke, you shut it off and just let it cool down, okay? And then you do it again after everything's cool. You do the same process. Start it up, as soon as it starts to smoke, you shut it off, okay? And then you do it a 3rd time. Yes, you guys got this 3 times. Fire up the engine, as soon as it starts smoking, shut the engine off, let it completely cool. 3 times, okay? The 4th time, yep, huff and buff and blow your house away, okay? The 4th time, you start it up and you just let your engine run until all the smoke burns off, okay? It just says right here. It says, once smoke is completely dissipated, the engine, set it off and then let it come back down and dry. And vapors are harmful if you breathe them in. But just don't breathe them in. Come on, guys. You guys are smarter than this. So, you know, all this information is on their website. You know, you can even click the old QR code and stuff. But go to KBS. This stuff is amazing, and I am not even sponsored by them. I just use their stuff for everything because I love it. You know, I love their clear coats and I just love their stuff. You know, it's when a company makes good products, you like to use it, and it's not that expensive to have good products versus bad products. But I've run my mouth enough. Let's get the surface prep done. I'm going to start sanding this bad boy right now, okay? And I'll let you watch me sand for a second, and then we're going to wash it and clean it, and then we're going to hang it on the old painting rack, and we're going to paint this header up. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Okay, I think I've gone over all these instructions with you guys. So you guys basically know what we're not doing or doing. I guess we start sanding. Now, I just got some 80 grit here. Okay, that really weren't too bad. It actually sanded off, I mean, sands off quite a bit more metal than what you realize. And, I mean, you don't got to get like crazy, especially if they're brand new like mine. But, because these were brand new. So that makes it helpful. If yours are older, it's going to require a little more work. But I'm just going to take the old KBS here, cleaner, and wipe all these down real good and clean. Because, I mean, look, it's pretty disgusting, ain't it? Yeah. They didn't even look that dirty. But they are. I mean, we want this stuff to stick. We want to give it the best chance we can to stick. You know what I mean? It's already a header. It's already going to get hot. And without spending the big money on getting them ceramic coated, you know, this is a good alternative. Okay. Well, now it's had time to dry. So we're going to use the old KBS primer. And we're going to go ahead and hit these suckers and give them one good coat. And one good thin coat. Okay, so now I got everything from this side that I can see. So now what I'm going to do is flip the header over. Nice thing about a header is you're not painting the ports inside. So we're going to flip this like this. Because now everything you couldn't see before you can paint now. That's why I said it's about it ends up being about like a coat and a half, I think. And you can kind of see through the primer a little bit, so don't get scared of that. I mean, again, because you don't want it thick. So I'm literally just trying to get the spots that I couldn't get the other direction. But I think I got it all. Now what we're going to do is just, and I still got, I don't know, probably a quarter of a can left. So it didn't even take, a full can to paint 2 headers. So now per instructions, we got to give it about 30 minutes. And it is pretty warm in here tonight, so I don't have to run heat, I don't think. And about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give it the color on one side, flip it and give it the color on the other side, and then just let it sit until morning time, when we can put it on the, the engine. Okay. So, shaky, shaky. It's been about 30 minutes or so. They're actually dry to touch, so we want to get them recoated. And you saw how I did that. I'm going to do the same thing in reverse process. So paint all this side, everything I can get, flip it over, paint it, and then I'm just going to let it hang. Oh yeah, look at that. Charcoal metallic. These things are going to look, I mean, real nice. Like I said, a nice thin coat is what we're kind of after here. You don't want to go crazy. And remember, we are going to flip them, so don't try to get, places that are hard to get from different angles. Just wait until we flip them, and we'll easily be able to get to them other spots. What I'm going to be interested in on this is what these do after they go through a heat cycle. Because I remember the red ones, what they did, and but this is like metallic-y and stuff, so I'm really curious to wonder. I know when they get hot, it's like they change color almost, and then once they cool back down, they go right back to their normal color. But I'm wondering if once this has been hardened with the heat, if it, is it going to be shiny? How's the metallic going to look? You know what I mean? I'm just I'm real curious. I can't wait to be able to find that out, to be honest with you. Flip them. Yeah, this side, not so much. But we'll get it here. Start top and work our way back down. Now I will say I've used a little bit more paint than I did primer. And that could be because it's metallic and I'm really just trying to get it to cover real good and even. Okay, well there you have it. There is the coated header. And I mean, this stuff is phenomenal. I mean, look how shiny and sparkly it is. It's kind of cool looking, so. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next, okay, and this is gonna be probably about a week from now, but for you it'll be like a second, is I'm gonna be assembling these on the engine, okay, right here behind me, and we're gonna fire this thing up on a carburetor before we put everything on, and then we're gonna break in those and get them all heat treated. And when I get ready to heat treat them, I'll bring you guys back, and then we can all look at the final finish, you know, kind of decide what we think. So far, so good. We'll catch you guys in 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, the time has come. We are going to heat treat these headers. Now, I'm not going to do every heat treating with you guys because it's 3 times, okay? So what we do is we start the motor, okay? We're just going to let it idle. We're going to wait for them to start smoking, shut it off, okay? It don't take but 30 seconds to a minute, maybe max. And then we do this 3 times, okay? Now I'm just pretend you see it 3 times, we're going to do it once, okay? And then once they're cooled after the 3rd time, the 4th time they say you can start it up and let it smoke till it finishes smoking. Like, it's done. Like, when it's done smoking, it's done. Okay, so 3 cycles like this, and then 1 of it just running and running and running until it stops smoking. Okay, so without further ado, let's fire up this pig and let her smoke for a minute. Okay, look, smoking. I told you it wouldn't take long. So just run it a second, like we just did. They got real hot. We're gonna let them cool. This will take 30 minutes, whatever, an hour. It don't matter. Whatever it takes, it takes. So we're gonna do this 3 times. So pretend 1, 2, 3. Look at that. We just did it 3 times. Okay. And then once we've done that cycle, which is obviously gonna take us the rest of the afternoon, the next cycle we'll actually run it and let them smoke a minute. But we don't have no radiator yet, so with no rad, I can't run this motor that long. You know, but I wanted to kind of get the header seasoned in, so that way if we were touching them or doing whatever, we wouldn't have any problems. Because really, once they're once they've heat cycled in, I mean they're pretty rock solid, rock hard. So awesome sauce. And yeah, she's pretty rowdy. Yeah, pretty impressed with this old girl.